Welcome to the Sprout League 2 final! We have Anto versus Xian today to decide who will be the champion of this tournament that has been going on for, I think, around like 3.5 months. And it will be good to finally put it to an end. But just this match remains. And my brain isn't fully there today. Real shame given it's, you know, the final. But I've now started the map vote for the first round. As map voting is now underway, our options are Concrete Playground, Deep Blue, Volatile Metalworks, and the Amphitheatre. So far the vote is tied between Concrete Playground and Volatile Metalworks. And the option to choose the most banned map that's not currently banned. And to just choose full random between all non-banned maps. But in the end, Concrete Playground is the winner. We just need to make sure Anto is ready first, which he is, so let the round begin! So we begin on Concrete Playground. On this layout of Concrete Playground, my favourite layout of Concrete Playground. Anto is aware of the sheer wig that hides behind the pellet posies, and Xian is aware of it too. Both have dealt with their respective such sheer wig. But Anto, I think, has the lead on growth right now. But can he maintain it is the question. These are both pretty fast players. I mean, you have to be quite fast in order to get to the best of the best, and it's not even close. It'd be a pretty glaring weakness if you weren't that fast. But really at that stage, if Anto were not that fast, and still over 100 elo higher than the second best, then that would say a lot more about everyone else than it would about him. But anyway, Xian has proven lately that he is one of a very small number of people who can even now take rounds off Anto. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. Already it seems Anto has dug up the marble there on his own side first. I don't know if he meant to do that, but he's currently spicying across the center marble and the one on Xian's side, as Xian is trying to respond. And does so, actually manages to better both of those marbles. But is not really going to be able to do much here with his own squad unspicy and being outnumbered by Anto's. Understanding this, Xian heads back to base with the cherries he's been able to collect. He's Speaking of cherries, Anto can now use this Pluckaphone. Xian has a overall Pikmin lead of 10. Despite what Anto has been able to accomplish so far. And so Xian may be able to turn things around if he can use these Pikmin cleverly enough. Because he's going to have to use them extra cleverly in order to outplay the fact that Anto has taken the center marble. Now Xian is having to take this marble on Anto's side, and he's going to need another one from Anto's side, I believe. Yes. Yes, he is. Wait a second. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. All the marbles Xian needs to win are on his own side. And because Anto knows this, he's been growing to catch up. So Xian has been growing as well to widen the gap once again. Okay, I think that was a misinput. Xian is now going for this cherry. He knows Anto is going to come over here and try and stop him. So Xian provides a little ambush. As the fight right now is over the cherries. And that is a fight Anto is determined to win. But Xian pulls his Pikmin off the corpse to keep trying to go for the cherries, but Anto's got them all. Xian cuts his losses and heads back to base. He knows he's still on top on the Pikmin count, so that's an advantage you can count on. And he managed to get at least some cherries. Anto now has 2 jelly floats in his base, but the onion legs are blocking them both away from Anto's Pikmin. Well, most of Anto's Pikmin. Now here comes Anto, and he is going to need to spicy again, in my opinion, in order to be able to win this round. He's going to need to spicy, and he's going to need to do it well. He's probably going to need to do it with more Pikmin. Well, there's the spicy. And there's the counter spicy. Anto manages to almost full bitter Xian here. And Xian manages to almost full bitter Anto as well. Oh, this could be very bad. Oh dear. Xian just lost half his squad from that explosion. But he still has the positional advantage and one more spicy. That said, Anto is getting away with 1 marble here. And that is really bad for Xian, because that means he is going to need to take a marble from Anto's side after all. Where did that marble go? How far has it gone over to Anto's side? Way too far now. Unless... No, it's not. This isn't happening. Xian is now, as a result, going to need that marble there guarded by that Crawmad. But he's instead entering Anto's base with 14 Pikmin. Trying to get Anto's Pikmin blown up. And resigns. Anto 1, Xian 0. That explosion changed everything. It was very close until that point. Xian had the advantage until that point. Anto himself confirms that that was what allowed him to win and was the only way he could have. Well, now it's time for the second round of this match. The bands are almost all in. Now they're all in. And the options for the vote are Ballbear Basin, Volatile Metalworks, Construction Fortress, and Warbox. We have 2 votes so far each for Volatile Metalworks and Construction Fortress. The participants would both like to go to Construction Fortress. Anto would also want to go to wouldn't mind going to Volatile Metalworks. But Xian's only voted for Construction Fortress, which Anto has also voted for. The winner is Construction Fortress. Anto is still not quite ready yet. Never mind. Let the round begin! So, whose bridge is going to finish first? I think Xian's bridge is probably going to finish first. Suddenly looking like that's going to be the case. Oh dear. Xian's bridge indeed finishes first. And now he jumps into action. Anto's bridge is now also finished. But it'll be a matter of who can fight through these enemies and get to mid first. Two of Xian's Pikmin, the ones that were caught by the Burrow Nits, are lagging behind. As a result, while Xian gets to mid slightly earlier, Anto gets there with 2 more Pikmin. Both participants are currently more interested in their respective Withering Blowhogs than in the center marble, although conveniently for Xian, this Withering Blowhog has gone towards the center marble, as Anto has chosen this moment as spicy, where Xian bitters the majority of his Pikmin. Full bitter minus like 5 or 6. As I think Anto will still be winning this fight for the center marble. Xian is immediately forced out of his base by the bombs, and then just goes back into it at the end anyway. It seems he has ceded to Anto the center marble, as he does not believe he can take it, and I think he's right. So that means Xian is going to have to try and go for a marble on Anto's side. He's just checking to see whether Anto got the center marble, and yes, he did. But right as Xian finishes plucking, the antenna beetle has taken most of his Pikmin, and it's causing him to lose a significant amount of time. Now Anto is first to mid with a large head start and is spicying again. Xian counter spicies. He wants to get a good bitter on Anto, but he needs to avoid Anto getting a good bitter on him. I definitely think Xian got the better bitter here. And is certainly has the better positioning. But can he keep this up? This marble is definitely the one Anto's eyeing up. Anto has retreated back to base. And Xian is hoping that he gets this marble, because that's the easiest one on Anto's side to go for at this point. Given that Anto has already taken 2 from his own side. Xian's got the marble going, as Anto is here to intercept it. And now Xian gets a Pluckaphone, but he gets it a bit too late. Now Xian is using the final spicy that will make or break the game. He needs a good split. That split was decent. But is it enough to outweigh Anto's large proximity advantage that he is already capitalizing on? I'm not sure if it will be. It's looking increasingly unlikely. Especially as Xian has fewer and fewer of his own Pikmin to call upon. Xian knows Anto will be coming after him now, so he's using the blocking technique. But Anto is still able to get 16 Pikmin past Xian's. And now sheer numbers are playing their part. Anto puts a single Pikmin on that marble to bring it back over to Anto's side. Xian moves out with 13 Pikmin. Xian knows that if Anto gets this marble, it is over. But he's not going after it. He's just going for the cherries. "13 Pikmin to 23, and Anto has proximity. This is dead. This is over. Anto's won. The only way Xian can win is with an interception of Anto's pocket marble, or with a base rush. And both of those would require a spicy to be successful. Either a spicy or some very good cherries. And Xian is not getting those. Xian has only one chance left. And that is a base rush. Or a pocket marble interception, but the base rush would probably... Actually, I don't know. No, he's just getting more cherries. As Anto's already here, with more Pikmin than Xian, to take his pocket marble. And Xian gets the least useful cherry. Well, one of the least useful cherries he could possibly get right now. As Anto is well aware that this is over. And Xian has just realized it too. Anto 2, Xian 0! The options this time are the Amphitheatre, Bulbet Basin, Warbox, and Halls of Grandeur. Well, it looks like we are going for the most banned map that is not currently banned, which is Volatile Metalworks. Let the round begin. Oh, hey, Drought. So, Xian is currently taking out the Dredger Bug. Gotta be very careful that these... Oh dear, this is a recipe for disaster! Xian was lucky only a couple of his Pikmin died then. Now Anto is here. He's made it to mid, to the H-shaped arrangement of marbles, where he's just currently trying to go for cherries and make sure that this cherry carrier makes it all the way past. But now Anto has just thrown another Pikmin straight into where they're just gonna drown. This bomb has helped deal with these fiery blowhogs on Xian's end. But he's going to need to go and get more Pikmin to be able to actually collect them. Okay, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's just going for cherries. He's just going for cherries. And losing 2 Pikmin to electricity while doing so. Anto has far superior position right now. 20 more Pikmin. And a greater level of map control by far. As now, Xian has come in to try and turn the game around by eliminating Anto's numbers advantage in the most straightforward way possible. By literally eliminating it. Anto's response? Kill all sources of bombs. Xian's response? Do as much damage as he can while he still can. Now Xian's the one with 12 more Pikmin. And so he heads back to base to get back to work. And as if that wasn't enough, Anto's just lost another one to that Bulbear. The Dirigibug is still alive, but not for much longer. Now Xian gets to go back to having some fun with these dweevil. No, blowhogs. Why is it dweevils? That cherry carrier almost died, but not quite. Okay, yeah, what are you... Okay, it's just waiting, I think, for... Yeah, no, that thing was dead. Oh! He was getting the groink to... Oh, no, I see what he was really trying to do with that bomb. Metites. They won't be particularly useful right now. A sticky bomb for Anto. He sticks it to that blowhole. Ooh, good use of the Metites by Xian. They delay the collection of that corpse. Meaning Xian now has 7 more Pikmin than Anto, and is at a positional advantage. But given that the Groink on his side is still alive, and there is a Dirigibug next to it too, he is not necessarily going to have a good time. Not necessarily going to have an easy time. Ooh! We see a Spicy that Anto manages to bitter, I think, more than half of. Now Xian goes and fetches the rest of these Pikmin and brings them to the front. The fight is mainly for a marble closer to Anto's side, which Xian is still confident that he can take. And I think he's right. Xian knows he's won this fight. Or has he? Anto is now trying to give Xian a taste of his own medicine with the bombs. That's just 2 minutes remain on the timer. Xian still has a Pikmin advantage of 4, but since Anto got back to base first, I'm not sure how significant that's going to end up being. Anto's probably going to make his move quickly. He better make it quickly, or he'll have lost out on potentially 3 marbles. That said, if he can successfully Spicy across the other 4, he can still win. Yep, there are 3 marbles heading on their way back. One of them has been stopped by the enemies. Make that 2 now. And now Xian has lost so many Pikmin on the way back here that Anto is the one with more Pikmin. Okay, now Anto is the one with way more Pikmin. As Xian is getting Anto's Pikmin electrocuted. Xian is doing as Xian does best. Running into trouble with electricity. He's just making that Anto's problem now. Xian realizes he's probably not going to win. So what he's doing now is he's playing either for a draw, or, better yet, to try and take Anto out of the game. Unfortunately, that bomb has just fallen off there, so it's looking increasingly likely that this is going to be a draw. Yes, this is almost certainly going to be a draw now. If that Dirigibug could shift position just a little bit... No, it won't. This is a draw. The Dirigibug will not budge. But wait! Xian has just collected in 2 of his own marbles! Meaning a draw will not be happening after all. Anto has killed the Groink and is on the move. But Xian has spent so much time trying to damage Anto that he just damaged himself equally as much. Now Anto knows exactly what Xian's game plan is, So he's trying to kill the last Digibug. And this is the point at which Xian uses his spare bitter, which only serves to make Anto's job easier. Xian may have just completely screwed himself over. If he hadn't taken those marbles all the way back, this match could have ended in a draw. Now it's looking likely to end in a loss. Xian has collected 2 marbles, and has 2 more on his side, but Anto has 15 more Pikmin. At least, there is still 1 Digibug remaining. But that Digibug is as much Xian's own problem as it is actually even more Xian's problem than Anto's. Anto can now kamikaze Xian out of the game, and Xian can't kamikaze at all. Despite the fact that Xian was going to put that... Oh, wait, no. Wait, Anto was the one who bitted this bomb. Wait, so I don't even know what's happening right now. It's too hard to say. Right, well, we can say at least that the Groink is dead. We can say that much. Xian realizes it'll probably be a better use of his time to try and... Oh dear, no, 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 run, 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 run! No! Xian is trying to get Anto's Pikmin here bombed out of existence. But he's got to be really, really, really careful around bombs. For reasons that I think should be quite obvious. As now, Anto has used his final bitter to bitter the Digibug while it was above the void, sending it into the void. Now Xian uses his final bitter against Anto's last couple of Pikmin here, which he just plucks back anyway, and now spices with the unbitterable spicy. As Anto is now heading back to base. Xian is giving up. Anto 3, Xian 0. On to round 4 now. As Anto has banned Rusted Ring, Champion's Court, and Battle Yard. And Xian is going to be banning Spider's Den, Submerged Skirmish, and Bottomless Sewer. The options are therefore Bulber Basin, Bulbman Grotto, Emperor's Arena, and Decayed Garden. All 4, no. All except Bulber Basin have votes. No, what? No, I'm misreading it still. All of them except Bulbman Grotto have votes. And also a vote to reroll the set, which is currently in the lead. The set has been re-rolled, And this time we have Construction Fortress, Frozen Forest, Citadel of Steel, and Halls of Grandeur. With Halls being the immediate favourite. And Halls of Grandeur is the pick. Let the round begin! Positioning's a bit awkward on those pallet posies for Anto. But we see that this is the lanes layout. That's always the most interesting to watch. Well, no, the second most interesting to watch. The most interesting is the one with all the wallies, because we can have very high death counters on that one. Still wish though there was a built-in death counter. Well, Anto is currently making his play for a bunch of cherries. Oh, once again, Xian is suffering from antenna beetle issues. As the antenna beetle jumps off right in towards the camera. As Anto is trying to go for a marble here. Xian trying to stop him. But I think Anto just brought too many Pikmin at once. Xian continues to pluck. Well, Anto's probably getting that marble. There are still 4 others that are all also center marbles. And Xian has 8 more Pikmin than Anto. And Anto's only got a base warp cherry. That could end up being significant, but isn't really significant currently. I think we're probably going to see a spicy from at least one of our participants now. Who's it going to be? Who's going to spicy first, if anyone? Nope. I guess neither of them are going to spicy yet. It's not really time to invest that much this early. That said, given Xian has the superior numbers, I'd expect him to get the marble this time. Oof. Anto loses 1 Pikmin to that rock storm, as Xian is continuing to collect more cherries. A flower cherry will definitely speed up his play, and a marble berry cherry will definitely do nothing at all. As Anto spends concerningly long being dragged around by the bumbling snitch bug, allowing Xian to pluck out 44. That's That's not all of his Pikmin, but it's more Pikmin than Anto has in total. And Xian is now focusing on securing the path for that marble. Anto spices, and Xian does not bitter that spicy very well. Anto now full bitter Xian -1 in response. And this could be the moment where for Xian it all falls apart. Dweevils. Xian is waiting for the right moment to use them. The Dweevils, however, seem to mostly be out of the way. Now Xian is using his final spicy. The only thing that can save the game now. But he needs a better split than the first one. Anto knows most of the Pikmin are waiting back behind. What he also knows, what both participants know now, is that they've all stopped. Xian is going back to get them, and Anto's going back to bitter them. It's over. Anto 4, Xian 0. In order to win this championship title, Xian must win the next 5 rounds in a row. If Anto wins just once more, then Xian can say goodbye to his hopes of being the champion this time. The stakes are higher than they've ever been. Can he do it? Bodmin Grotto, Construction Fortress, Frozen Forest, or Volatile Metalworks? Which will it be? Anto is happy to let Xian make the choice. While 3 of our spectators are all going for Volatile. So far, Xian's choice, it seems, is Frozen Forest. And in the end, Volatile Metalworks is the choice, which neither Xian nor Anto voted to go back to. Let the round begin! Do we have the same layout as before? The answer is... Come on! Move closer! I want to see what the answer is! The answer is... possibly. Quite likely. Yes! The answer is yes! We are on the same layout of Volatile Metalworks that we were on before. Now Xian looks like he has an easier path to mid than Anto does. But of course, there is still electricity, and it still is killing his Pikmin. Prioritizes the bumbling. And the anode. Next. Then the blowhog. And now he goes cherry hunting. Only to get 3 of his Pikmin zapped when doing so. Anto continues his growth expedition here. As Anto uses the bomb for the dredge bug to deal with the blowhog. Ideally the blowhog and the electrical wire, but I don't think it got the electrical... Oh no, it did get the electrical wire! Now Anto's the one cherry hunting. He gets 1 cherry, 2 cherries. If the cherry carriers both make it back, that is. And I don't think the other one did. Now it's time for Xian to deal with this fiery blowhog. With the blowhog out of the picture, Xian focuses on the bigger picture. And loses 6 Pikmin in 1 strike! And then 2 in the next! Anto moves the Groink slightly out of the way, just slightly out of the way. And is now using his vastly superior numbers to go for marbles. And now to walk back to base. This is a very, very difficult position for Xian. I don't know if he can do this. Anto has 9 more Pikmin, and he's won the fight for the center marble. Well, one of the center marbles. Now Anto's back on the way out, as Xian is still plucking. Still plucking to a number 8 Pikmin smaller than Anto's. Now Anto has all the marbles he needs on his side, and he's using a spicy to close this out. Xian is counter-spicying. Betters the majority, but far from all of Anto's Pikmin, as Anto betters most of Xian's. Most by a large margin. Many of whom are now being burned to death. Or shot to death. You know what else is shot to death? Xian's chances of winning. As with the final score of 5-0, Anto is the champion of Sprout League 2! Anto has now won his 3rd Pikmin 2 versus tournament in a row. He therefore remains undefeated. We will have to see in future tournaments if he will ever meet his match. Our next tournament, given how busy I expect to be with my project, and with the final assignment for one of my other modules this year, will not be until June. But we may be running an event, or possibly multiple events, in the meantime. Now, I don't know what tournament format will be running in June, but I think it's going to be very good. There is a possibility, if enough people vote for it, that it could be a versus max tournament, the first one we've ever run. But if people don't feel like versus max is quite appropriate for the kind of tournaments we run, then there is also the possibility that we could run some other format, possibly another chaos. My opinion is still divided on. I'm still not really sure on whether versus max is something we'd be able to make a good tournament out of. It's certainly interesting, but it's very different mechanically from what we're used to. But I'll make my mind up in the end, and we will make our minds up in the end. Until then, stay tuned!